Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Schapiro, Alan Stanford, who's been accused of being a mini Madoff, has been in the headlines for the last few weeks as people have been trying to get a handle on exactly what happened to $8 billion and the full extent of the damage of his actions. And recently, an alleged Stanford whistleblower, Layla Weidler, was interviewed on the matter, and she detailed her initial concerns with the Stanford firm, her termination, which was allegedly tied to her unwillingness to sell their offshore certificate of deposits coming out of Antigua, which she had had concerns about, and her attempts to bring what she believed was a Ponzi scheme to the attention of NASD, now FINRA, and the SEC. This was some 5 years ago. According to a complaint filed by the SEC in February of this year, the Stanford Bank allegedly touted, quote, improbable, if not impossible, returns while selling $8 billion in those very same apparently cryptic CDs to investors for more than a decade. On going to the SEC in 2004, Ms. Weidler said, I had a list of everything, all my concerns. I wrote down a document and I sent it to them and I told them, these are my concerns, this is what happened, look into it. This might save people's savings in the future because we can stop this. And it was just sent to them and that's it, unquote. Now, I understand there is a criminal investigation going on, but what can you tell us about this allegation? Are you aware of any evidence legitimizing Ms. Weidler's claim that she did, in fact, approach the SEC 5 years ago, raising concerns over this Ponzi scheme, laying out how they were doing it with respect to Alan Stanford's firm?
Congressman, I'm happy to address it. I don't know about her specific claim, so let me be clear about that. But I will tell you that prior to the SEC opening its formal investigation in 2005 into Stanford, the agency had looked into tips that had come its way. But at the time, my understanding is that the staff believed that these were largely foreign investors investing in foreign certificates of deposit issued by a foreign bank. What we also, so those jurisdictional issues presented significant hurdles, offshore CDs issued by a foreign bank, and those jurisdictional issues we now understand were significantly complicated by the fact that the Antiguan securities regulator, who had jurisdiction and authority over Stanford International Bank, was on the payroll of Mr. Stanford and was has been sued by the SEC, but was clearly subverting the SEC's investigation into this matter. There was also a period of time of significant coordination with other federal agencies, which also took time, undoubtedly longer than it should have. But as soon as it became clear to the SEC that there was adequate information for us to go forward and that we could overcome those jurisdictional hurdles, the case was brought. 9 people and entities have been sued, and as I said, including the CEO of the Antiguan Financial Services Regulatory Commission.
Well, I'd like to ask you if you could then address the questions raised by Mr. Atkins, which I raised in my opening statement. Specifically, why do you think the SEC in the course of the past 12 years experienced, in his words, catastrophic failures in every one of its 4 core competencies? He started with rulemaking, filing review, enforcement, and examinations.
I'd be happy to do that. I'd also be happy to come and talk with you directly about these. Needless to say, I don't agree with Commissioner Atkins' characterization of the SEC's failures over the last number of years. During that period, he was a commissioner of the agency. I do think all the federal financial regulators missed issues relating to the economic crisis in the last several years. But I also think that an enormous amount of positive work and important things have happened also under those same years.
Let's do it this way then. If, for the benefit of the members, you could do it in
Be
writing.
happy to.
And I'd add 2 more questions that in writing, if you could submit, I think going forward, it would help the committee members. What led to failures at financial institutions to recognize the inadequacy of their own risk management systems and strategy in time to avert a collapse? And second, how did many investors get lulled into complacency and not adequately do their own due diligence as well? You probably will have some perspectives at the SEC on those 2 questions, and I think a better understanding of the failure on that front as well.
I'd be very happy to do that.
Thank you.